everyone. This is David. It's a quick hit for a Tuesday afternoon. What is going on? How are you guys? Have a good weekend, I hope. Thank you for listening to my long chat yesterday about what I think is going to happen on the future of RHONJ. Thank you for listening to our chat with Elizabeth Vargas from the OC on Sunday. It's been busy. Listen, let's go quickly. I'm not even getting through any of these like quick chats anymore with what is going on. Yes, we have a lot to say about the OC. We're going to be covering that and diving deep into the recap. And I want to know what everyone thinks about the return of Salt Lake. My DMs are very, very conflicted. Lots of you say yay, and lots of you say, okay, we saw the trailer. What else is there besides the trailer? So will the ratings bump? Is this going to be a great season of Salt Lake? I hope so. Let's get into some New Jersey quick hits. And here is where we are. I covered this on my other podcast, Bravo Bench, with Anakin Koses and Ace. If you're not listening to that, we don't just do Bravo on that. We do pop culture and all sorts of other things. But talked about this on there for anyone who hasn't already heard. Let's go a little deeper now. Melissa Gorga, I mean, these people are doing interviews still. Melissa Gorga did an interview and she said that if producers decide that they want to go the route of dark and toxic, that they will bring Teresa back. She says for her, the vision of the show, and she has no say in it, and they don't know what's going to happen, but the vision of the show is very clear, where there are natural relationships and friendships and all of this other stuff. Obviously, she's implying her and Marge. We could throw Dolo in there, Cabral and Fuda, and getting rid of Aiden and Jackie and our good friend Teresa Giudice. But Messy G, we have a little bit of a Messy G over here, Miss Melissa. She says that if they want to bring back, if they want the show to be dark and toxic, they will bring back Teresa. And she says, I mean, nothing shocking about that statement yet. She says that is a show that she has no interest in being a part of. Now, of course, the headlines then have taken that and have run with it and have said that Melissa Gorga has no interest in being on the show if Teresa is on. Kind of what she said, kind of not what she said. I don't work for the headlines. Nothing I can do about that now. But let's just break down that statement and let's just be honest. Melissa Gorga is coming back to The Real Housewives of New Jersey. If she is invited, whether Teresa is there, whether Louie is there, Margaret doesn't want to work with Louie, doesn't want to film with him. She got them to agree with that. She was back. No one is leaving The Real Housewives of New Jersey from this current cast on their own. So I call bullshit on this Messy G. I've called out Teresa a lot this season, and I got to be honest with Messy G. Come on now, girl. You know you're going back. I agree, with what you're saying. You don't want to go back if Teresa's there. You think the show's going to be dark and toxic. But let's face it, sweetie, you're going back. Now, there's also this rumor that we don't have to worry about it because Teresa and Melissa, an inside source has claimed that Teresa and Melissa have called a truce. They see the writing on the wall. And as a last-ditch effort, they have called a truce and that they are willing to both go back to New Jersey and speak and make it work. I call beyond bullshit on this. Do I think Melissa would do anything to save her job? And that is not a knock, because I would do anything to save my job that was over $1 million a year. I do. And I think that this is what we urged you to do. I urged you on bended knees, a Messy G. I urged you on bended knees, a Teresa Giudice. I've urged you guys to do this. I mean, duh. How did we get here? Now, hindsight, 2020, after this entire season, after all of last season, now this is what's out there. Now, first of all, I call bullshit because Teresa is on vacation with Louie. I blame Teresa for this, okay? I don't have sides. I have a side of a show being a good show. But here's the bottom line. I blame Teresa. I don't think Teresa's learned anything. I think she is too proud to beg. I don't see her saying just reconcile. I don't see Louie saying to her just reconcile. You should. And I really do think Melissa and Joe would. Who cares? It's not losing. How is that losing if you say, let's film together? Sounds like that's winning if the $2 million check clears the damn account. The problem is, so I do call bullshit on this. I do not think they spoke. I do think Teresa is too proud to beg and she won't do it. I just don't. And by the way, if Teresa and Melissa approach the network with this, how would that go down? I mean, hasn't this ship sailed because of you? All you tree huggers in the back, all you Messy G fans in the back. What does she call you guys? I don't even know what she calls you guys. She has some name for you. The Melissas, I don't know. There is some name for the Melissa fans. I really don't know what it is, but I know Melissa has used it before. Point is, does it really matter? You're all fucking smart, whether you're Team Teresa or Team Melissa. So who the hell listening to this is going to believe that overnight we sprinkled magic, gold, and fairy dust on these two and that now they get along? That's the problem. Now we have a show that's inauthentic. Now we know it's inauthentic, but we're really going to know then. And so I think the ship has sailed. I urged you to do this a year ago, 2 years ago. You could have faked it. I know you faked it for so long. I understand that eventually the seal breaks and you can't fake it anymore. How do we get here? I don't think we can go back. I think it's too late unless we have a really long pause. But I don't think Teresa can get down on one bended knee and say, okay, let's do it. We already tried that. And I don't think Louie is going to convince her to, although he likes her being on the show. So maybe this one's an in between. But I call bullshit on the fact that they already did this. And this is now they've called a truce. Bullshit. Guys, don't believe everything you read. Please, please don't believe everything you read. And I really do believe Marge, you say I'm on her payroll now. Marge, I can give you any of the addresses you want, or it's all digital, girl. Send me some fucking gift cards. I want gift cards from Margaret Josephs. Everyone thinks I'm getting them. I want them. But here's the deal. I do believe with Marge, I do believe when Marge says, I agree with her when she says Teresa doesn't care about anything anymore. Now, I do think, let's give a footnote, she cares about the money and she cares about all of that. But I do believe that she doesn't really care about anything except defending Louie. I think she will go down if that ship goes down. And this is all, once again, not up to Teresa. It's up to Louie. She listens to what he says. If he had any half a brain in him and cared about the wife that he loves so much, he would say, don't speak to Melissa. Don't speak to Joe. I don't give a shit about this. Fucking work it out for the $2 goddamn million. When all of this is over in 5 years,